Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by Casper, a sleep brand that continues to revolutionize its line of products to create an exceptionally comfortable sleep experience one night at a time. Get $50 off any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/blame and using promo code BLAME at checkout. That's casper.com/blame, promo code BLAME. This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by Aptiv. Aptiv produces audio-based workouts created by certified personal trainers available through a mobile app. New members get 50% off an annual membership. Visit aptiv.com/blame. That's AAPTIV.com/blame.
Oh, fucking shit. Sorry.
That tea
good God.
almost went
The
everywhere.
tea almost spilled. That's what the kids say. Okay, fuck, guys. Let's try that again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Don't Blame Me. This is my podcast. My name's Megan, and today we have a very special guest. It's Mitchell Davis.
Hello.
Pew, 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 pew. I was going to ask you, because you're here now, how do you say your Twitter name?
My Twitter name. Oh, it's
Not your handle.
Yeah.
Your name.
CD emoji.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I just the CD emoji. That's my website too, cdemoji.com.
No
So
way.
yeah, I have everything there.
Oh, because I was gonna say, you were the person who told me if you like left click an emoji or whatever, something, but it tells you,
Yeah,
it describes
it'll
what
read
it
it
is.
to you.
That was us season 1 of Soon Buddy President. It was just going through and you're like, this one's this.
Yes.
Like, what?
Well, they just added like 80 new ones, and I just did that so that I could figure out what some of them were because I had no idea what
What's
they
your
are.
favorite one? Like your favorite description of one?
Oh, I think I really like all the ones where the descriptions are way too like exact. When it's like a family where it's like mother and father holding daughter's hands. Like I like it when it's really, really too many things.
Yeah.
It's longer than just what the emoji is.
And you're like, no wonder why you want us to condense this and just send the emoji.
Exactly. I
For all
love
those
it.
times I'm talking about mother and father holding hands
with daughter. It's really strange.
That is weird.
That's great. Well, that voice here is Mel. Mel, say hey.
Hello,
Melly,
I'm
Melly.
Melissa Demont.
They're going to follow you on Instagram?
Sure.
Do it.
And she's got a GoFundMe and a PayPal. You can send just
send money.
Send money.
all the monies.
All the money.
Hey, I like your Twitter feed. I think your Twitter feed's solid.
Thank you.
You will honestly, Mel, now that we have a moment,
I have
you
to follow.
use the best gifts. You're a good gift finder.
Oh,
Anytime you're tweeting about popcorn, I'm always like, ooh, I'm going to use the gift Mel used in the video because it's so good. You managed to find such good gifts that I'm like, I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're so
pretty dope.
long. Sometimes I'm like, this is too long to be a gift, but somehow Mel's made it so that it works. It's awesome.
Well, thank you.
What's your Twitter handle?
She is not Melissa.
Right? Isn't that great?
Oh, that's great.
Like with 2 S's because my name's spelled with 1 S.
It's so good. It's so
I
good.
hope you know I just stare at the she part and I go, she?
She's
There.
Melissa.
Oh, I found you.
Mhm.
I'm following
And
you.
so did
Thank
everyone
you.
else.
Yes.
We're all doing it live.
Oh my God. Wait, why don't I have this? The popcorn sweatshirt.
It can be arranged.
It can be arranged.
Guys. Oh, this is very nice. This is very nice. I
Look
want
at-
it for
yeah.
Christmas.
Well, by the way, what she's talking about is my podcast, popcorn.show. Check it out. We've got merch right now
Yeah.
at Represent.
Represent.
I
it's
know.
cute. I'm saying that like I'm being honest. It's really fucking cute.
Thank you. Yeah, those
Good
are my
job.
designs.
I can tell.
Thanks.
I can tell. I enjoy your podcast as well.
Thank you. I
And-
like yours. I'm glad that we're finally getting to collab and swappity
Likewise.
right now.
I need to figure out what movie I'm going to talk about, or I guess that's not really my job. That is your job. I would just be a guest. I don't get to control it.
We take suggestions.
yeah, we'll take a few suggestions, but
Yeah.
we'll
I mean, if we don't like it, we'll knock it down. But
I was gonna say,
Okay,
and if they're all
well, fucking
garbage,
fine.
we'll just
Have you
throw
done
them away.
Holes yet?
Holes.
that'll be a no.
Why? Holes is a fucking fantastic
I'm pretty
movie.
sure that's when
wasn't
Shia
it-
LaBeouf watched all of his own movies. I'm pretty sure Holes was when he took a nap.
What have you?
pretty sure-
No,
Did that even come out on like in the theaters?
Are you kidding?
I thought it was
Okay.
a Disney original.
I have the soundtrack
I'm a
and I
little
can
bit
still do the
older.
entire rap
Dig
of
it up.
them.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
dig it. A-R-M-P to the T. Dude, what you smelling? Yeah, dog, that's me. No, I don't take showers and I don't brush my teeth. All I do is dig holes, eat, and sleep.
Oh my
Wow.
god! Okay,
It's fucking great.
I read Holes twice. I thought the
It's-
book was fantastic.
is great.
Stanley Yelnats,
The pickled
backwards,
onions.
forwards. It was great, but no, we're not going to watch that movie.
Oh, fucking
No,
shit.
we're not.
Okay, what are my other suggestions?
We'll talk about
your
that. Okay,
podcast.
let's talk
I'm
about
sorry.
this show.
It's my podcast.
So, what is this show?
Okay, good question. Sorry, I got distracted, everybody. This is my advice podcast. You guys call in, you leave voicemails, and you tell us about the things happening in your life that you need our sage words of wisdom. And if you guys want to leave voicemails and ask us questions, you can call 310-694-0976. And if you guys are international callers, you can send us a voice memo and just email it to meganpodcast@gmail.com. Just record a voice memo on your phone, send it on the email, and send it on up till it has that whizzy sound.
There's really no excuse not to be sending in your questions, really.
Yeah, guys, come on. You have so many fucking opportunities. Yeah, so we're gonna get into it.
I'm so excited.
I'm so fucking excited.
So I'm a 20-year-old college student, and I recently started dating a girl that I met up here at school, and she's great and beautiful and amazing, but she's also very open about her sexuality and came out to basically everyone in her life when she was in middle school, and she was very well accepted because of it. But I, however, have only come out to my closest friends and my roommate because I haven't told anyone in my family because everyone in my family is very Christian, and I'm worried that they won't take it very well. And I'm waiting until I'm fully financially independent before I come out. So if it goes wrong, I have a backup plan. But anyway, so she's really open and wants to post pictures on social media and like tag me and all this stuff and be like, like a normal couple. But I said no, because if she did that and anyone in my family saw it, it could really ruin my life. And she's starting to get really annoyed and more angry about it as time goes on. Every time I tell her to like not tag me in this or you can't post this picture, and I don't understand how to get her to understand that this is like a big deal for me. And I guess because she came out so early, it's just really hard for her to understand a situation where people won't accept you, like people in my family. And I really don't want to break up over this because I really do like her. But if you have any advice to help me get her to understand how hard this is for me, that'd be great.
Do you have any first initial thoughts?
Well, my first initial thought, I think, after hearing it is kudos to you for asking for advice. I feel like that's the hardest thing, especially, I'm just basing it off of like my early relationships in life. I really was like, I'm a big proud person. I don't need to ask for help or what to do. And I think I'm so glad that we live in a world now where it's like, no, I don't know what to do. And please.
Yeah, it's relatable now to be like, I don't have my shit together.
Yeah. And I think that it's just like, it's refreshing that we can actually be this honest with strangers.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what about you? What do you think?
So my initial thing, so I guess I wish I had known when you had told her, your girlfriend, that you weren't out to your family, just because I fucking hate when this happens, when I kind of side with not the person who's called. But so I have a lot of my friends are gay, and something that we've talked about always when they were dating was a deal breaker if somebody wasn't out to other people. And if their whole thing is like, I already came out of the closet, I'm not going to date somebody who's still in the closet. I think what you guys are experiencing is a little different because you have this world where you're at college where you are out of the closet.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's back home that you're not. So the only thing that's really crossing both those parallels is social media. And so I think I understand how she feels with not wanting to feel like she has to hide anything because she did have to. So I would even say, I know that you're talking about it from the sense of that everything was very accepting for her and her family when she came out, and she came out so young. You also can't, no matter how great she can talk about the experience now, she still had to come out. Like, that's not something I would discredit. So I understand her not wanting to kind of backtrack with that. But I also think that in my friends' cases, those were early on deal breakers. But you guys have been dating for long enough that I hope that it doesn't matter. And I also think if there's you're saying waiting till you're financially independent, which I get because they think that's smart. Maybe there's a timeline. If you give her kind of more of a specific, hey, this is only, I need to save up this amount of money. So for her, it doesn't feel like an indefinite thing that maybe she wants to get married. Maybe she really sees a future with you, and it might be hard to see a future. And she might think, not that she doesn't think that you are serious about her or anything like that, but I think it's kind of hard to not take it personally.
I would definitely agree with the make a timeline, because that does put, like you're saying, a severity on the situation of like, I do want this relationship to continue and to evolve. And man, this is so hard having a call-in show, because
I know
I want to ask your questions.
Yeah.
I want to be like, so what did you, my next question is like, what is your plans for, I mean, you said that you wanted to come out to your family when you're financially stable, but I mean, financial stability doesn't equal like family understanding or anything too. I mean, I get that means that you will be able to potentially deal with the issues that come with telling your family who don't agree with you. But at the same time, I just want to be like, maybe you should talk. How did she go about it? How did the partner go about it? And then maybe you can use some of those cues into your life. I don't know, right?
Yeah. I also wonder, you said being financially independent. I don't know if they're paying for your college, and if that's the fear.
Yeah.
Is if you come out
There's
and
so many questions I have.
Exactly. But I also think if that's not the case, if they're not paying for school or something like that, I mean, maybe it might be better to come out when you're not living at home and you're able to kind of
distance yourself.
Yeah. So you've
already got that distance a little bit to just kind of just adjust to what's going on, and then you can visit back when you need to, or when you want to, or when you feel like it's ready.
So then maybe also if both of you kind of take a social media break from things, and then I don't know, make a fucking scrapbook, have Polaroid pictures you guys take, and like make a poster and like keep it in your apartment or something like that.
Just keep the conversation open. That's the thing too, is don't try to swipe this under the rug and try to make it like not a issue. If it is an issue, like, sit in front of it and talk about it with each other and figure out how to fix things. Because at the end of the day, if you do really care about each other, you're not going to let something like this,
Also, not to belittle this at all, but I was gonna ask you, when did you and your...
Are you asking me now or the person? You're
I'm asking
me.
Mitchell.
Oh, you can ask me whatever you want.
Okay,
I'm open book.
So you and...
I don't ever say her name. I call her the chef.
Is that okay?
I call her chef.
So how long, not to belittle your question and make this, because obviously coming out's a very different thing, but I'm just curious how long before you guys started dating before you were okay with her posting about you publicly and stuff?
That's interesting. So we've been together for about a year now, and I think it was about 6 months in. It was between 3 and 6 months, which I know is like a massive, big area, but it was just this gray area where the first 3 months I didn't want posting happening because I didn't know how serious it was.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to get my family's, like, oh, Mitchell's in something. No, he's not. And I also didn't want to psych myself out. I didn't want to get too committed to this like digital relationship when in reality it's still very much growing. And I think that's another important thing that can kind of go back to that question, which is when you start to implement your relationship into the digital world and your avatars, I mean, it becomes part of your forever.
Yeah, it becomes part of your online identity,
your timeline, you know, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's a big deal when you start to implement those person into your
I think it's a huge Mott's Mott's and I dated for a year before I ever even publicly said that I was in a relationship or anything, but I gave him that timeline. But I mean, I know for him that was like, there were times that he was like, no, there were times that like I said I was understanding of it, but I felt super fucking shitty about this because it felt like you were hiding me from a part of your life. And so I think like him and I being able to have those open conversations and talking about it, it was able for me to really explain how much more it was about me and had no reflection on my feelings for him.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's a total personal thing that I have. I know what you mean. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the fact that it had like our relationship is coming to a halt because I don't want you to post pictures. It's like, no, I want to keep taking all the photos.
And you want to keep something for yourself too, and you don't want it to get tarnished by other people's opinions. So I would say, I think you really need to reassure her. I think that of the fact that it has nothing to do with her or being ashamed of being with a girl or anything like that. It's more along the lines of like, I'm just putting words in your mouth. I'm having a great time with you. I really, really like you. And I right now am not ready to have that get compromised by someone else's opinions who really don't matter just because I need to deal with that first.
Yeah.
I think that's a good, not to like bring it back to like our own.
I think it's
heterosexual relationships.
No, but I think peppering in some of the, like you can learn from all these little bits and then you kind of just take it in and, drink it up and see what happens. See what happens.
Take it back.
I don't know what I'm saying, guys.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Me neither. And we both have podcasts.
Perfect.
Oh, I love it.
That was a good question. Wow, I did it.
You did it.
Advice.
First one is done.
Boom. Okay, 99 to go.
Okay. On to the next one.
I am 26, and I'm hoping you can help me out. So I have this boyfriend. We've been dating for 5 years. We are super duper in love. Like, he is my end game. Like, he is my person. I am his person. And we're just, like, living madly in love together. It's been great. Here's the little problem. My parents are, well, it's a big problem. They're very racist. I am white, and my boyfriend is black. So it's been a lot of fun dealing with them. But basically, my mother knows what's going on, and it's taken her a couple years to kind of, quote unquote, get over it. She still thinks we're going to break up. She still doesn't imagine us getting married or having kids. She's just kind of going with it, I think, because she wants to keep a relationship with me because I'm the only child. My dad has no idea. My mom has asked me not to tell my dad because my dad is so anti-interracial relationships, and he is super just doesn't believe in it and wants me to marry a nice Italian boy from Italy and be barefoot and pregnant. I don't really know. The problem with all of this is that I am very close with my extended family, and I love them all very much. And they love me, and I would love to bring my boyfriend to go and meet them. I live in a different state from my whole family. Like, I live a 3-hour plane ride away. I want to bring my boyfriend up to introduce him to the family because when we get married, I would love to invite them, and they know about him. But they're like, bring him. Like, we'd love to see him. But the problem is my dad doesn't know. So because my dad doesn't know, I can't bring him anywhere, but I'm afraid to tell my dad because of the outlash, and I don't want to lose a parent, but I think it might come down to my boyfriend or my dad, and I'm going to choose my boyfriend because we're going to be the future, and if my dad is racist and won't deal with it, then he's going to have to figure it out. But I don't want it to be one or the other. I kind of want to have both, but I don't know how to tell him. What should I do? Should I not tell him? Should I be like, oh, by the way, we're getting married tomorrow, and then, like, have him deal with it when that happens? Or, like, what should I do?
Wow. What a good question.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
There's a lot of layers to this.
There is. I think that your dream scenario is just a dream, and what you're thinking is gonna happen might fucking happen. And also, like, whoever's fucking had sex with your mom and then made your genes and then made you a fucking baby or whatever, that doesn't excuse any sort of behavior. I'm very much of like holding parents and everyone, I'm more like friends, relationships, everyone is being held accountable for their actions. It does not matter their relationship to you. And I'm just not one for like accepting those kinds of traits, regardless of what you owe them life or whatever.
Well, especially in this time that we live in the world. I mean, it's so ass backwards to be thinking like that I just can't even imagine. I'm having a hard time fathoming.
I know.
Because I'm like, I haven't had to deal with this since I was like ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm so sorry, but this might end up being not as clean as you would like it to be.
You pick the one who's not a racist. Like that's what I don't think that whole thing of like choosing your relationship over family and things like that. I think it seems very black and white that family always comes first, but there are certain things that I think like I don't know. I'm like a zero tolerance. I mean, I have zero tolerance for intolerance kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like if this is something they can have whatever relationship with you that you feel comfortable, but it's not fair to put your boyfriend through at all. And it's just, that's not an environment. I mean, like in-laws in itself are already like uncomfortable and awkward. And I think that's not a great situation to put him in. But I also think that you've already kind of sound like you've made up your mind of like, this is who you're going to be with. And also, even if I don't know, I mean, like, even if this wasn't who you were going to end up being with, I think it is something that like at this day and age,
you have to face that.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that eventually you're like, ooh, we're going to face this. We're going to talk about this because guess what? We're a family.
Yeah.
And I mean, would you say it's wrong for me to say like, maybe you need to just have like a one-on-one sit down with your father and be like, this is, maybe not necessarily about this relationship, but just in general about like what's happening in the world, what's going on, what you know what I mean? Am I on the right?
No, I think you are. I think you need to give him the opportunity to surprise you. And then if he doesn't surprise you,
instead of surprising him with, we're getting married, maybe be like, look, I just know that I have love and there's tons of people in this world. And that there's no sense in me not loving a certain person because of something so silly.
Yeah. And I think it's about telling him. I don't think it's about asking him. And I don't think I think you just need to just lay the facts out there and be like, I want you to give I think I know what you're going to say, but I want to give you the opportunity to prove me wrong. And I don't want to leave any stone left unturned. So I need to do this and then know.
And I don't want to keep something from you.
Yeah. And I think that you need something that's finalizing for you. Because right now you're putting it off and you're waiting and hoping that the longer that you wait, maybe he'll become more accepting. But I also think it's probably more likely that you'll have that found family where you live and your friends and these people who really accept you and love you, and maybe the relationship with you and your parents, it might take a time for you guys to kind of recover from this, but you also can't put so much weight on that.
Also, something I'm just going to throw out here is you have so much more family, it sounds like, that wants to meet him and wants to be involved. And it's just like, I get that it's one person who's being a little stinker about the whole thing, but like, let him be a stinker. And then the whole family will look at him and be like, what's your deal, man? Like, why are you acting like this? Your daughter's in love. Your daughter's in... Like, I mean, listen to the message. Like, play the message back for your father. Like you said, I'm so. Yeah, like, I mean, you sound like you're so smitten about this person. Like you said, you've made up your mind. So it's just like kind of owning up and just being like, yeah, this is my dude. This is my life now. Love always should win. That's just like the truth in my book. I'm like a hopeless romantic at the end. I really am though. At the end of the day, it's just like, be together. The only thing that I'm going to just really highly not recommend is just don't keep waiting. Don't keep putting it off. Don't think that the next day it's going to get better, because I mean, look at the world around you. That's not happening these days. It takes courage. It takes motivation. It takes a little bit of a push to get anything done these days.
Yeah. And it takes education. That's the thing. If your dad's not being exposed to this and learning about this because he's very shut out to any other way,
then it's not going to stop.
No, not at all.
So when I was in high school, for you guys that don't know, I'm Black. I grew up mostly around white people. And there's this boy that liked me and I liked him. So I went and I hung out at his house. He invited me to come over. And then at one point, his mom was like, Melissa, can I talk to you in the kitchen?
She pulled you aside?
She pulled me aside.
Oh, no.
The fuck?
Yeah, she's like, she was trying to like be sweet. I'm from Arkansas, the South, so she was trying to be real sweet about it. Like,
Did you see right through it?
I didn't at first.
How old are you?
16.
Okay, so you were
Yeah, I
old
was
enough to be
16.
like, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then she's like, I don't believe in interracial dating. Goes on this like long tangent. Like she's like, I'm not racist or anything,
but you
and
are.
I think you're a sweet girl, but I just don't think that'll be good for you in the long run. I mean, if you had kids, then we don't want like that kind of world of them growing up in and having to choose if they want to be black or white. And I was just like, and so she wasn't expecting me to tell her son, but I did tell him.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
And I didn't tell my parents though, because they would have went ballistic. But
Yeah.
so I told him, and like we ended up dating for a while, and
Good
she
for you.
eventually came around.
Yeah.
And she like accepted me, and she was sweet. So
Do you think you bringing it up to the son played a major role in him?
I think so.
Him talking to her, being like, "What did you fucking say?"
yeah, I really think so.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I think that kind of leans with what we're saying, where it's just like the
that's a
youth is the future,
generational
man.
thing,
Yeah.
too.
You've got to be like, Mom, Dad, you guys are being fucking old.
Yeah, you have an
Stop.
iPhone, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
like,
on.
where are we right
Yeah,
now?
fucking choose. What generation do you want to live in?
Right.
Do you want your Apple TV? Okay, then don't be a fucking racist.
I mean, right?
Like, you can't have both,
Yeah.
bitch. I have one of my friends in high school, she ended up, I mean, she had a very strange relationship with her family, but she was in an interracial relationship and her family did not accept her at all and was very much like, nope, not happening. Like you and her and this guy aren't dating anymore at all, but her parents were just like, these racists. Like that was just the kind of thing. And so for her, it was like, as much as it sucked for it to kind of be a character trait, it was like, well, I'm glad I know. And I'm not putting you on this pedestal of being an untouchable person. Cause I'm like, no, I'm going to be a fucking woke 25-year-old
Exactly.
living in LA. And I'm going to be able to look at you and be like, okay, cool. You gave birth to me. And there's certain things that we can relate on, but I'm not going to like sit quietly and like let you be racist. And if she found out later on that she found out later on that her younger sister had been hiding the fact that she was in an interracial relationship for years and ended up living with the guy and never ever told the family. And it was like, you can go about any of that how you kind of want to, but I also think it fucking sucks to say that like your parents are people and everyone has flaws, including the people who like that doesn't. Yeah. And I think it's something you gotta fucking address.
It's weird when you have to start thinking of family as friends you lived with. You know,
ex-roommates.
You know what I mean, though, because like you got to have this kind of mentality where it's like, again, like I'm same with you. I'm from Ohio, and I moved out to Los Angeles, woke up a little bit, and then went back, and I'm like, yo, are you guys fucking crazy? Like this isn't how we do things. Like, and you just have to get to that point where you have to start being like, I know that there's like, you want to play the seniority like mom and dad card, but I'm just telling you like, this is the world card. This is what's happening. Yeah. And I'm doing this for the better of everyone at this table. Like you just need to know what's up.
Yeah. I think that's a really smart thing to do because I think we cut too much slack for everyone.
I think it's definitely like a thing now where like, especially like I said, even with Thanksgiving, like, I mean, you saw it on Twitter where so many people were just like, I went home today and I really fucking told them what was up.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the first year too, where I'm like, good, great.
Right.
We need these conversations to start because we've been sitting on our hands for such a long
that's
time.
how we elected this president.
Exactly. Because we all thought, and then I like how we brought this back
I know,
to this.
but
but at the end of the day though, it just conversation. Words are crucial. Use them with each other and talk about it and have conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone is so afraid to just be like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah.
And I live like me, man. I just don't know anything. Keep asking, and everyone just tells you. It's amazing.
Yeah, because and I also think, especially if you want to have kids and all of that stuff, I think you guys no matter how the relationship with your family changes, when they find out about like the seriousness of your relationship and all that stuff, you need to do that so you can really create a foundation and an amazing supportive group of people at the same time that you might be letting go of some not forever, but maybe temporarily, so you can have another support system. So it doesn't, and that's a good thing, is you know that this isn't the world, and like you know that like you're even able to see like your extended family and everybody else is so much more accepting. That I think you need to make sure that you feel supported.
Yeah.
And hey, also, who fucking know? Maybe it gets to the point where your dad's the one who's now going to be not invited and who's going to be exiled from the, like, with your extended family. If they're on board.
He might be totally by himself, but you've just been thinking, well, he sits at the top of the table, so I guess we just let him do what he's doing. And that's again, that I feel like that's like old traditions, and this time right now when we're living is when we need to kind of break those stupid walls down and just like be like, what's really going on here? Like, where are we?
Yeah.
Because you're at the head of the table and you don't even know what the fuck's actually going on outside.
Yeah. And shit's going to happen. It's unavoidable. Shit's going to happen. We all have these perfect ideas of relationships and how everything ends up, but you got to accept the fact that this is not going to be easy, but this is the life that you've chosen, and that's been whatever, or chosen for you, whatever you believe, and you have to deal with it. Because it's just not going to go away. And that's good. It shouldn't go away, because you guys seem super happy and in love.
I was going to say, it sounds like nice love to me, so just keep enjoying it.
Hell yeah, enjoy that good loving.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done talking about politics. Maybe not. On to the next question.
14 more questions to go.
I am 19 years old. I'm from Vegas, and I've been seeing this guy on and off since I was a sophomore in high school, and now I'm a sophomore in college. We slept together a few times. This summer we slept together quite a lot, and he acts like he cares a whole bunch. But then whenever I talk to him, he's like, no, I just want to be friends. And the thing is, like, I would stop sleeping with him, but, like, the sex is, like, really great, so, like, why would I stop? But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be just another girl, just another notch in his belt and just being used. I'd love to see where something would go with him, because he's a great guy. Like, whenever we hang out and stuff, it's not like every time we hang out it's Netflix and chill. Like, we'll go to dinner, we'll hang out. But at the same time, like, there's always the question of, is this going to happen? Is it not going to happen, sort of thing. So I just don't know what to do. Should I end things with him, or should I keep going and ask him and see where, like, if this potentially could be something more, or should I just leave it at just friends and stop sleeping with him?
I'm going to just say the first thing that pops in my head, which is, this guy's not going to change.
No, I literally wrote fuck buddy.
Yeah, this dude's not going to change. I'm so sorry that I have to be the one to tell you this, because I don't even know you. But if it's been happening for this long,
4 years,
and he's look, I get that he's cool with you, but he's cool with you because you guys are fucking at that time. Who's not going to be cool with someone while they're fucking them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he's being that much of like a standoffish dude when it comes to just like hanging out and about, and it's been this long, it can only get worse.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I've had fuck buddies. Like, I've been in that
Same here.
thing, and it's kind of like, it's like you categorize people where it's like, oh, if you're having casual sex with someone regularly, and you know that and you're not looking to put any sort of label on it, it's not because you haven't thought of that.
Exactly.
It's because you've thought of that and have been like, no, not what I'm interested in with you.
Yeah.
So I think that is something that I would just say is like, you guys are ultimately your fuck buddies. And if it's great sex, and if there's a way that you can detach your emotions from it, sure. But right now it sounds like you are emotionally invested in this guy, and he is not emotionally invested in you. Even if you guys are going to dinner and it's like you're not sleeping together all of the time, you are a girl that he regularly sleeps with. Like, it's not a friendship anymore, and it's not a relationship. You are the in-between of that, which is a fuck buddy.
See, and that's why also with the whole, like, should we just become friends? That's not going to happen either.
No.
That you can never revert back to,
if you've seen your friend naked, I've seen you naked, you've been inside me.
Yeah, I don't think you can revert back. I know you can't revert back from something like that, especially if it's been going on for this long, because there's always going to be that residual, I actually still like you. I actually don't really like you. Oh, you still want to have sex with me. I still want to have sex with you just because we were good fuck buddies.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the way that you presented this question to us says that you know the answers, because you're like, it's really, really good. But and all this, but like you're not solid on even what it is because you know that it's not a solid thing. Like this isn't even if this you were like, yeah, let's become super just into each other. I'd still be like, yeah, but we started as like crazy fuck buddies who didn't give a shit about each other.
Yeah,
and I feel like that would be a weird way to start.
No, I've started one relationship from being fuck buddies, and it didn't end well. Like,
I mean, same.
Yeah, like it's one of those things of being like it was in the moment was the most flattering thing in the world
and
because
it's fun.
Yeah, because it's like, well, like he came up to me at a party and was like, I heard you made out with blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, so? And it was like, you can't make out, well, we're dating. And I was like, we're not dating. We've established we're purely fuck buddies. He's like, well, I don't want you to sleep with anybody else. And I was like, well, if
jealousy.
and then I was like, well, if I'm not sleeping with anyone else, then you're not gonna sleep with anyone else. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then that hardly lasted. But even that, no offense, I'm like, even that is fueled with a little bit more emotion than what this sounds like. Because I always think about it in like my sense, like how I started dating my first serious boyfriend in high school was the fact that I was helping set up him to go to prom with some girl, and it was fucking killing me to the point where I was like, I can't be friends with him anymore because I can't watch him go out with somebody else. But if both of you have been able to kind of coexist and loop back to each other, and I'm assuming dated other people, neither of you would be able to do that if there was some serious emotion there, which I don't want to question how you feel about him either. But I also just want to say it is so fucking hard to have great sex as a girl that if you're getting fucking amazing sex from this guy, that's going to automatically, you're going to feel more invested in him specifically. And I also fucking hate, no offense, I love you, you're great. But the amount of times that girls have called into this podcast and talked about a guy and said these, or not even just like in general, my friends, and they'll say these things that are terrible and prove that this guy is not a good guy. And they go, but he's such a good guy.
That's, I was going to say.
I was like, if he's such a fucking good guy.
He would have noticed this by now and been like, actually, you know what? We're great for each other.
Yeah.
Because that's what a good guy, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Look, I've been a fuck buddy. I'm not a terrible guy, but at the same time, if I see a budding relationship, I know when to change gears.
Or if you saw that she was developing serious feelings for you,
I know to back my brakes because that's giving her crazy bad emotions. I'm fucking with this person
completely. Not just fucking her. You're fucking with her.
Yeah, you're making it seem like you're putting. Oh God, this you gotta. Oh, this stinks.
So what should she do?
I know.
Should she tell him? Or
but see, if she talks to him, he's just gonna be like, yeah, you know, we're just you're just having fun. We're just gonna see where it goes. Yeah, let's just see where it goes.
This is, I mean, okay, I'm a very like honest, to the point kind of person. So I think that, especially if it's been going on for this long, I think you have to have a conversation about it. Otherwise, there's still the what if or maybe kind of thing, or that when you go back to something and you're thinking, well, I mean, I never actually knew, or I never really got a solid answer. So I think if you can find it in you to go into it and say, if you're like, hey, can you tell in the last like 5 seconds I've tried to stop saying like and it's not working. My words have gotten slower. I'm trying, so it's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna say like all the time. I think you just need to say it and be, hey, I have been feeling this way for a while, and I know that we've been casually sleeping together for a while and we're such great friends. For me, have developed feelings for you over this period of time. And at this point, I've reached this place where I need to know if you have those feelings for me as well, and you would be interested in starting a monogamous relationship. Otherwise, I can't do this anymore. And I think you need to say that, and you can't ask him what you guys are or define this. You need to say what it is that you want, because at this point, this is about you. I mean, it should always be it's about what you want, and not, because right now what you're doing is you're taking whatever he's giving you, and you need to just be like, this is what I want. If you can do this, and this is something you also want, then let's try this. Otherwise, you're just settling. You can't take anything less than what you want.
I like this. I like this answer.
I just feel like that's what it is. Otherwise, this is gonna last forever. And then guess what? He's gonna date some girl, and she's gonna be his girlfriend. They're gonna be in a relationship. They're gonna get married, and that's gonna be it. You'll be fine. You've got this. And if I can get in a relationship and not get sick of them, whew, you can do it too.
Same here. I feel like kudos to us. High
Go
five.
us.
Like when we were talking about the idea for this podcast with Jack, we were both like single mingles. Last time we hung out, actually, you helped me set up my Tinder.
I like to take credit for your relationship.
You do. No, hey, and it's been a year and we're still together. And I met her on Tinder, which is fucking bonkers. And even today before I came, I was like, by the way, babe, I'm going to hang out with the person who made it so that you swiped on me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I know.
We should do an entire episode that is about how to make over your
You
profile.
can make me one.
Seriously,
Can I? Please.
I'm not joking, and I will say this. It's not even like you changed my life on Tinder. No one matched with me ever on Tinder, and I just had no idea what I was doing. And then you were just like, "Oh, this needs to change. This," and then all of a sudden, it was just like people were actually
floodgates were open.
People were actually communicating with me, and it was fucking fantastic. It was bizarre. I still don't know what kind of wizardry you did, but it worked.
Okay, guys, listen to words from.
I'm gonna go check my Tinder.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be back in a second, or more than a second.
This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by Casper. Casper is a sleep brand that continues to revolutionize its line of products to create an exceptionally comfortable sleep experience one night at a time. Casper's mattresses are designed for humans by humans. They combine multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep surface with just the right sink and just the right bounce. Casper's breathable design helps you sleep cool and regulate your body temperature throughout the night. So if you get hot flashes like me and you're not even going through menopause, this is perfect. And they're not just a mattress company. Casper offers a wide array of products to ensure an overall better sleep experience. They're also made in the US, and buying the Casper is easy. Order online, and guess what? It's delivered to your door in a compact box. And when they mean compact, I mean you will be like, oh wow, this doesn't look like a mattress could fit in here. Plot twist, it does. There's free shipping and free returns to the US and Canada. Look, Canada, we love you. I mean, obviously we love Canada. You can get a risk-free 100-day trial. Considering we spend 1/3 of our lives on a mattress, it's so important to truly sleep on a mattress before committing. That's why Casper gives you 100 nights to try it out. 100 nights? That's more than 3 months. 3 months and a couple weeks, days. Oh my gosh. I mean, my math isn't great, but I think this is amazing considering I have slept on many terrible mattresses. With my Casper mattress, I have it in my guest bedroom. Not that I'm saying that I've definitely slept in my guest bedroom. Sometimes I film in there and I fall asleep, or, you know, if my boyfriend and I get in a fight and I'm like, I'm sleeping on the guest mattress. It is so incredibly comfortable. It was so easy to set up. I wish I had recorded myself filming how I took it out of the box, because it is insane how big of a mattress it is to fit in something so tiny. It was incredibly easy. And to this day, every time I'm laying on my guest bed, I'm like, wow, this is comfortable. Really wish I had this for my master bedroom, considering they're so much more affordable than other mattresses. The one that I got for my bedroom, I don't want to talk about it. I mean, it's as much as rent, pretty much. So start sleeping ahead of the curve with Casper. Get $50 off towards any mattress by visiting casper.com/blame and using promo code BLAME at checkout. That's $50 towards any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/blame and using promo code BLAME at checkout. This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by Aptiv. Aptiv produces audio-based workouts created by certified personal trainers available through a mobile app. It's a flexible audio workout format so you can work out just the way you like, whenever or wherever you work out, whether it's the gym, at home, outside, on the beach, on a yoga mat, or on a bike, or you're traveling for business. Aptiv is ready to go along with you with their mobile app. It's like having a personal trainer in your pocket. Whether you're interested in running, strength training, indoor cycling, stair climbing, yoga, or even meditation, Aptiv trainers give you the guidance you need to be better at these types of exercises you love, delivered in a flexible audio format to make fitness a lasting part of your routine. Are you interested in running a marathon, a 5K, a 10K? Half a marathon? Well, they have training programs for that, and you have the ability to search by difficulty, music genre, and duration so you can find a workout that you love every single time. Personally, I've talked about this before, guys. I am a huge fan of this app. I just started going to the gym regularly, and wow, I definitely have gym anxiety, and something that, even coming from somebody who considers themselves a relatively healthy person who enjoys working out, walking into a gym and having no idea what to do is so incredibly intimidating. And this is like having somebody who's coaching you in your ears, telling you what to do, and you're like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, but I don't. You've got someone in your ears telling you those things. It's like going on a date and having someone whisper all the right things to say to you or to say to your date, except this time your date is the weight rack and you're just crushing it. I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to travel and use this, especially because I find myself really slacking on working out when I travel, and I've got some trips coming up, and now I know that I'm going to maintain that six-pack I have when, actually more it's like a two-pack and only if I'm in a really shadowy lighting. But hey, I can't wait to get stronger and just feel more confident working out. So subscriptions start at $14.99 billed monthly or $99.99 for an annual membership. For a limited time, new members are going to get 50% off an annual membership, which is just $49.99 for a whole year of unlimited workouts. Visit aptiv.com/blame. That's AAPTIV.com/blame.
Okay, guys, we are back, and we're gonna hop on to the next call.
So basically, I found out a couple weeks ago that my, at the time, best friend, she told me that back in March, she sent nudes to my boyfriend, who is now my ex-boyfriend for other reasons, a literal trash bag. So she said she mentioned it over the phone and just brought it up in casual conversation. Naturally, I was pissed because, my ex or my best friend's not going to send nudes to my boyfriend. That's not cool with me. And her explanation was that she's jealous of me and that his attention made her feel validated. Basically, I don't want anything to do with her after that. And I think that's a smart decision, in my opinion. So if you were me, would you accept her apology and stay friends with her? Or would you kind of just ditch her, because that's a really shitty thing to do? Also, looking back, I realized, shit, I don't have really, and it's going to be hard going into senior year without her. So
Female friends,
if
I'm
you
assuming.
recommend that there's some other ways I can make more friends, because I have a lot of guy friends, but she's really my only girlfriend.
Oh my goodness. I feel this is no.
No.
She's not a best friend anymore.
No.
There's so many boys in this world that she could have sent. I mean, turn on Snapchat. Turn on Snapchat. Turn on anything. She could have sent, if she wanted validation, go on Reddit, okay?
I mean, in high school, I used to go to Borders and just walk around because the guys who worked at Borders would flirt with me. That's very fucking innocent.
I mean,
Barnes and Noble?
seriously, the fact that she had to there's so many things about this that are wrong. Like the fact that it's the best friend's boyfriend. Like, really?
I mean, I think the biggest thing here is I'm a girl who I'm a girl. Hi. But I've got a lot of close girlfriends now, and I grew up with a lot of really close girlfriends. And when I went to college and all that stuff, I struggled really hard to have friends who were girls, and most of my friends were guys. And I ended up settling for people who did things that were super shitty and treated me like shit, because there's a part of you that is like, no, girl power. I have to stick with this. The thing that I have with your friend is she's essentially blaming you for this. She's jealous of you. And so this was something that she had to do. This is not a friend. I am all for amazing, wonderful female friendships, but this is also the core issue why women on women anger and all that stuff is so prevalent, is because we're accepting this kind of behavior just to have friends who are women who get you on a level of like talking about your period and being able to be emotional and feeling all of that stuff. Female friends are important, but good friends are far more important regardless of their gender. And Arden and I talked about this when she was on the podcast. Both Arden and I mean, since we moved to LA, have always been close friends, but neither of we went through circles of different friends who were girls who treated us like shit that we accepted, and then we both just ended up being like, fuck, I'm gonna just my only friend's gonna be my boyfriend, my only friend's gonna be my boyfriend. And it wasn't until we started holding our friendships to the same expectations that we held the guys that we were dating, that we were like, oh fuck, I can be just as picky and choosy with the friends I let into my life as I am with the guys I'm letting into my bed.
Whoa, wow, I've never thought of this.
Yeah.
This is kind of eye-opening, genius.
You have to, and especially because I think men, not to categorize anyone, but a lot of the time aggression and anger between men, it happens, it comes to a head, and it's addressed in a moment. With women, it's a lot of belittling over time, quietly and slowly, and it's a lot of this thing of blaming. It's a lot of when something finally comes up, you are being given a lot of this blame, and so you feel responsible. It's a gender stereotype of apologetic women who tend to take a lot of the blame for things. And I think the issue is you want female friends, but ultimately she's not a friend. And if a boyfriend had done this to you, if you were still with this guy, let's say you were, and he sent a dick pic to your best friend, this would not be a conversation. Like, you would be, I'm done. Like, you're a fucking asshole. And I think you have to, wow, thinking about it like this, I'm so sorry, but this is blowing my mind a bit, because you're thinking, like, I've never thought about it reverse like this, but yeah, it's just like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
It is. And especially when you're young enough that a lot of your friendships have become out of
just time,
convenience, and the fact, like, oh, we went to the same preschool together, our parents carpooled us together, we in the scheme of the world, we probably wouldn't seek each other out to become friends. You have to hold people accountable for their actions. And also, I think you making friends, whether you're friends with guys or girls, it really doesn't matter. But I think what is more important in this situation is not accepting this female on female abuse and taking that, because it's just contributing to the cycle. I think you need to call her out on it. I'm sure you already have, but I think you can, I also think it's kind of worth it to tell her and just be like, hey, so I've been really trying to grapple with what had happened, and if I would be okay remaining friends with you. And at this point in my life, I really need, and in this like political climate, I really want to surround myself with women who are going to empower me and bring me up. And that's the same thing that I want to do for the other women in my life. And I really feel disrespected. And I'm just gonna, wish you well. And I really hope that you can take this as an opportunity to really look at how you treat the other women in your life, and how you can move forward in that, because it's such a, and also the thing is, like, it's not even about your boyfriend, it's about you. That's the whole thing. She's doing this to be an asshole to you. Otherwise it would have been any other guy. And that's a much deeper issue. Like, yeah,
I was going to say, do you think that this was like in the back of the friend's mind, that there was like a little bit of something saying like, we're going to make sure it's her boyfriend though?
That's a
100%.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too, but I'm just curious, like, do you even think like in the back of her head that she was like, and then I'm going to take him, or like what?
I don't think it has anything to do with him. He's not a person in the situation. I think he's her best friend's boyfriend.
It's just the pawn in the situation. He just happened to be there.
Think about it, like your friends, and you meet their girlfriends. They become in a box of people who are like your brother and untouchable, and they are not sexual objects.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's just kind of like, I think about that with like my girlfriend's boyfriends. Like, I'm like, you are literally, you have no penis. Like, you are not a sexual object, and I can't ever see you like that. And so then it becomes a power move with the girl. It has nothing to do with the boyfriend. I'm also so fucking glad you guys aren't dating anymore. I'm so glad that this is why you and your boy this is why they broke up.
She said that he was just a shit.
But it makes me so happy that this is not you didn't condone his behavior. I think because I'm sure he probably did some other shit. I mean, hold your friend to the same standards that you held him, because obviously he wasn't good enough to keep around. And I don't think she is either.
Yeah, I love it. I love this so much. I want to be on the show every goddamn week.
Oh my God, do it.
Next question. Hit me with it.
I'm 21 years old, and I've been in a relationship with a guy for about 3 years. And I know one of his biggest fantasies is anal. And we've done like some butt stuff, like he's like tried to finger my butthole. Never been a fan of that. And then about a year ago, we tried like full on anal, and we used lube, and he got some thrusts in, but I'm not a fan. I think it's uncomfortable, kind of painful, but I know like he still probably thinks about it all the time. I'm sure when it jacks off, he looks up anal videos. But I'm just wondering, it's like, am I weird for not enjoying it? Is there a way to enjoy it more? Should I like try doing it again with him? Like, I know he's okay that I don't want to, but I just feel bad because I know that's his fantasy.
I mean, I'm like so anti butt stuff. I'm like so like literally my asshole is clenching this entire question. I'm like, oh, I can't. I mean, also as the amount of I hope you know this too. I'm like, you're getting all these revelations. I always say it wrong. Revelations. I keep talking about ballet with this, but I'm like the amount of times that like every girl has been like, oh, yep, no, wrong hole. Nope, wrong hole. Nope, you're drunk, wrong hole. Like it is not. You are so not weird at all, or not. Yeah, you don't have to like it ever.
No, this is not like a standard, you've got to have that whole fucked. That's not.
I mean, even my gay guy friends are like literally it's the whole thing. They get actually angry when straight people have butt sex. They're like, no, you have a perfectly functioning fucking vagina. Do not do this. And like literally are like, don't even know. But I mean, the whole thing, if you're into it, this is what I would also say about sexual fantasies. As much as you're thinking that this is one of his huge fantasies, if you're not into it, that's not a fucking fantasy.
No.
Like if you're not enjoying yourself, that completely ruins it. And that's not, he's not going to, I mean, those, you have to share those things. And I understand like, whatever, fucking Rachel dressing up as Princess Leia. That's a totally like not harmful, going to hurt your ass kind of thing.
Well, look, here's the thing with anal sex, okay?
Oh, my butthole's clenching.
Look, the thing with anal sex though is, I mean, in all seriousness, is like the body, you have two sphincters, okay? You got one sphincter on the outside that you can control, and then the other sphincter on the inside that just kind of does its job. And so, look, it's not like this is a perfect scenario. Look, if you're not into it, the body's not into it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work.
It's also an ordeal.
Yes, it's a stupidly slow, dumb process.
Yeah.
I have a fun story. So
yes.
It's not me per se.
Okay, it's totally you.
It's not. I'm serious.
I know.
So
I just wish it was.
I was at like a house party or something, and there was a guy who was in the back with a girl, and he got stuck.
No.
And that's how.
Like it just got like he said
it's too dry.
He said
tight.
that it said it closed up and basically had a grab hold of him.
Oh my God.
But I'm just like that.
It's like she had anal dentata instead of vagina dentata.
But
anyone
like,
see teeth?
From that moment, I was just like, oh yeah. So if you're not into it, like you're not into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just remember being like, that's like you can't force that.
Yeah.
No.
And going from finger to dick.
Unless your boyfriend's a very tiny,
that's
tiny
a lot.
dick or a large finger.
You gotta loosen it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, now that I said the story out loud, this guy might have just been saying that to make his dick sound huge.
Yeah.
But look, what I'm saying though is that's what propelled me to then go into research about the sphincters and how it all works, because I was genuinely like, well, what? And that kind of made me then also go like, well, there was a perfectly working vagina right there. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but if he's into watching like butt stuff porn, you're gonna fucking ruin it. If you guys have terrible like it's gonna completely, that's just not gonna be a thing anymore. And I also think with fantasy wise, it's like, okay, like every guy I've been with, it's either that or it's like multiple girls and like having a threesome, anything like that. Whereas for me, I'm like not into that at all. That's not my thing at all.
Really?
You just look at a girl who like looks like you really definitely want to be in a threesome. Like that's not something that I'm interested in at all. But it's also one of those things that then, because I'm not interested, like think about it in this way. Let's just say like guys who have a fantasy about two girls. It's only hot because you're picturing these two girls making out with each other. But if they're not into it, your fantasy, it's not gonna what you're picturing is not happening.
It's not real.
No, this whole idea that you have of these fantasies is because they're these perfect scenarios and they're super sexy. But if there's like one thing that's not fitting into all of this, which is a dick and a butt. No, I mean, just like, it's like, if it's not sexy and it's not, everyone's not super into it, like he's fantasizing, it's not it'd be like, okay, I'd rather have no threesome than one where I feel like I've forced this and no one's enjoying themselves, so I can't enjoy myself. It's the same thing. And if he's also not bringing it up, I don't think you need to feel, I think also girls a lot of the time feel very guilty about that. I'm like, am I depriving you? Is like every other girl you've dated totally wanted to do this and like will do this, and am I like closing off this part of your life? But we've had people who've called in about sexual fantasies before, and it's either if someone is not interested in participating in your fantasy, either it's a deal breaker or it's not. And for him, it doesn't sound like it's a deal breaker.
Wow, you guys might find something way more fun that you both enjoy.
You got a fucking sex swing
equally. Yeah, you never know. You never know.
You never titty fuck him.
Seriously,
no, I don't want to fucking talk about titty fucking.
Wait, why can't we talk about titty fucking?
Oh my god,
what's wrong with titty fucking?
What is titty fucking?
What do you mean? What is?
I didn't mean to open up that
titty
fucking.
Open up that titty fuck.
By the way, is there like another phrase instead of titty fucking?
It's a wonderful phrase.
I love
it.
I feel
titty fuck.
I just feel like the word titty is so, it's just so weird. I feel strange when I say it. I feel like
titties is my shit. I say titties more than shit.
I feel like when I say titties, I'm calling for a small animal. Here, titties, titties, titties. Come here, titties.
You do, when you say it, you do make it sound somewhat like a character in like.
Oh, you talking about titties? Titties? Yeah, like I don't know. I'm just I don't know. Yikes.
Okay, guys, now we're gonna go on to Producer's Corner, and Producer's Corner is in this time. Usually it's when Jack picks his favorite or most memorable call, but instead we have someone who's calling back from a response to Aislyn's.
They're actually not calling back. Nope. This is someone that is
It's someone's response to the advice that we had given on the call, one of the calls we had with Aislyn.
I wanted to send in a response to your first caller from the episode with Aislyn. So I work for a nonprofit that provides emergency shelter and counseling and education about domestic violence. And the first caller, I just was listening to it, and there were so many red flags that the relationship that the caller was describing is an abusive one, especially, how controlling her boyfriend is over her and getting mad and about her not being at his house on time and making her, quit the appointment with her friend. Like, all of that kind of stuff is just such a red flag. And I thought that the advice that you guys gave was great, but I do want to just stress that this is something that can turn dangerous really, really quickly. And it's really the most important thing for the friend to do is to provide support for her friend, because one of the hallmarks of abusive relationships is the abuser making the victim feel isolated and like they don't have anyone to turn to. So the friend being there for that person can make such a big difference when they decide that it is time to leave the abusive relationship. If you want some more info, I would suggest going to the One Love Foundation. They're specifically catered to like people in their 20s. There's also the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. And the National Domestic Violence Hotline number is 1-800-799-7233. So I was listening to it and I was just like, red flag, red flag, red flag. So I thought I would call in and hopefully give some of my expertise. I don't know if you could call it that. I've only been in this job for like 5 months.
You have the sweetest listeners.
I know. Aren't they so nice?
Your listeners are now in the conversation and helping. That's fantastic.
It's very nice. I like it. I like when they can give that. Like, there was a couple of ones where I've missed something that was quite obvious. And they're like, but maybe this was it. And I was like, oh, that's great.
fantastic. Honestly, she answered everything.
Yeah.
That is amazing information. And please do not forget all of that.
No.
Like, that is very serious.
I think
because if you feel like you're in a situation that is isolating yourself and getting smaller and closed in and something just doesn't feel right, then contact, reach out, figure it out, ask questions.
Yeah, I think that's awesome because I think a lot of the people who are calling in on the podcast, it's a lot of people who are seeing this. Like that call was a girl who was seeing her friend in this relationship. And it's so hard when you feel like you can see everything very black and white. And sometimes you wonder, I've like disliked friends' boyfriends before, but sometimes you're like, is this me or is this?
Sometimes the fly on the wall though is the perfect way to see like, hey, just to let you know how he's talking to you is not okay.
No, and I think it's not now knowing that those, from a professional, that a lot of those things that you were describing, if you're listening again, caller, a lot of the things you were describing about your friend and her boyfriend, the woman who just called in, it was smart in the sense of like making sure you have all this contact information. And even if you're being pushed out from this friendship, really, I guess not letting that go and making sure that you stay a steady part of this person's life, even if your friend's boyfriend is really trying to push you out and isolate her, making sure that you, even if you're not able to be around all the time, that your friend knows that you're always around and that you're able to watch and kind of monitor and see if there's any point that you should be intervening. And
definitely.
God.
It's so I've had friends who have been in situations like this, and it's always just so difficult to find that perfect, right kind of moment to be like, hey, I think something's wrong and you don't know it.
Oh, I've said it and lost friends from that. And it's like, I've done all that I can do. And if you ever want to come back to me again, I know that you hate me right now.
But I promise I'm still here.
I don't hate you. Yeah. And whatever, like, I hope I'm wrong. But this is just, I have to say something.
It's so easy to be oblivious of what's right in front of you when the words LOVE are right there. You know what I mean? Like
it's a cure-all.
Yes. And and that's the thing that I remember just seeing a lot of is I'm just so in love. And it's like, I understand that, but like, it doesn't trump everything. There is a certain level of things where you just have to like it's yourself, care about yourself. It's about you at the end of the day, and you wouldn't treat someone like that. Like, so I just it's such a delicate little place, and sometimes it's so difficult to like focus in on when it's happening directly to you, which I've always thought it's just very fascinating to me.
Oh, I've dated terrible guys where it takes years to look back on things and you're like, wow, this was so fucked up, but you've managed to make me feel managed to make me feel like this was this super romantic gesture.
Yeah.
And I can now look back and go, wow, that is so fucked up. But not only was I like, oh no, this is like, I'm going to ignore this. I saw it in positive light. That's the issue that happens if you're dating someone who's abusive.
You got those rose-colored glasses on.
It becomes like when, as a friend, you're seeing, oh, he's not letting you have any other friends, but you're like, wow, he wants to spend all his time with me. Exactly. He loves me so much.
And that's such a red flag. Yeah. That's so weird.
And it's so, makes my skin crawl.
In a relationship, you should always still be an individual. You know what I mean? You can work as a unit together, but that doesn't mean...
I love blissfully coexisting.
Yes, exactly. But that does not mean that you control each other in any sense of the way. Like, there's just... If that's something that needs to happen, then it's not a relationship anymore. It's like, honestly, it's like a weird
obligation.
It's like a roommate, mom, dad sitch, and nobody fucking wants that.
No. Okay, guys, that is it. Mitchell, you're great at this.
Thank you. I honestly, I never give advice. I don't know if I did a good job or not.
No, you did great.
Did I? Okay, good. Yeah, no, please have me back. I love it. It's so fun.
Yeah, I
love talking about sexy stuff. Sorry, I talked right over you.
No, you said sexy stuff, so it was more important.
I do love talking about sexy stuff, though. I think it's fun, and I also feel like it's needed. There's too many people that are afraid to talk about this shit. And the thing is that if I was a kid, I would have loved to listen to things like this.
Yeah,
because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I really didn't. And I mean. Just as like a little fun, like little taste. Like I had a girl once tell me like, no one will ever like you because you have such bad OCD. And I stayed with her for years.
Oh gosh.
So just like, there's so many things that you think are just so normal. And and then you're like, no, man.
No, we're the amount of, I think, like broadening perspectives with this is great. Just hearing like the calls where even we've said like you hear this and you're like, wow, I didn't even know people still think like this anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you guys want to go find Mitchell, you can find him at
you can Google me and you can find all my stuff. But honestly, I just want to promote popcorn.show. That's my podcast. Since you're already in the podcast realm listening to this, why don't you just go head on over there and listen to a movie review.
And so I guess I can't do holes for my episode.
We cannot do holes.
Yeah. I'll reloop to another.
Let's watch a sexy movie. I feel like we should watch something that's
we
like
watch porn.
No,
review porn.
That's popcorn at dark.
Popcorn at night. No, yeah, we should just watch like what was like an early movie that you were like, oh, I have a crush on that person. Think about it, and that's the
I used to
movie
have a
watch.
crush on Al Gore.
Okay, that's not what I meant at all.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Okay, guys.
Cool. So now we're getting into the daddy episode.
Daddy. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you want to call and get some advice, you can leave a voicemail at 310-694-0976. And if you're international, again, you can just record a voice memo on your phone, email it to meganpodcast@gmail.com. And we would love to get reviews on the Apple Podcast app. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
That's a fortnight.
It's a fortnight? Is 2 weeks a fortnight?
Oh wow, you're not on my podcast.
What?
Yeah.
2 weeks is a fortnight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fortnight.
I should have learned this from Paul Revere, but I did not.
Fortnight popcorn.
Oh, I get it now.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, produced and directed by Jack Ferry, associate producer Melissa DeMons, edited by Melissa DeMons, post-production sound by Chris Henry, and music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter. I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and don't blame me if your life bursts into flames before then.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed.
I had Danielle and Megan record some answers to seemingly meaningless questions. I asked Danielle what insect song is typically higher pitched in hotter temperatures and lower pitched in cooler temperatures.
You got this.
No, I didn't.
Don't believe that. About a wish coming true? Well, I didn't either. Of course, I'm just a
cicada. I'm crying. I'm so sorry, Jiminy.
You win that one.
So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.